everyone, this is Loganai. Welcome back to a New Year's Eve video on the Gray Build YouTube channel. And today we're going to be talking about some changes I've made to the LEGO City over the past month, and talking about some future changes I'm prepping for in the LEGO City. In addition to that, I'm also going to showcase the city with some lights turned on at the end of the video, just like last year, and I'll talk about my New Year's resolution for what I plan to do with the channel this year. Now, let's get right into it. First off, you'll notice that this month has been a lot of, finishing projects that I've had my mind on for a while, and some of them are just background projects, similar to, the alleyways that I was working on. But this time it's a little bit different because I've been adding backs to some of the buildings in my LEGO City that previously didn't have them. And this building right here is an example of that. This is my music store tower, and of course it's got a back to it now. It's a little difficult to showcase some of these backs with this particular angle of the camera, but you can kind of see through the windows that there is, no light showing through, and that was the main goal for this. And this is mainly for stop animation projects in the future, but I'm pretty happy with how this building turned out. And you might notice that I've changed these little kiosk shops next door to it to sand green, and that relies on another project that we'll take a look at in a minute. Now, I used the olive bricks from those on the noodle shop over here. The noodle shop now has a back as well, although instead of using the light nougat pieces for the top two floors, I just used white parts. Because it's not color that I have a lot of, the light nougat stuff, so I figured it would make more sense if I just used white for the backdrop. And there's a couple of pieces that only act as facades, but again, you can't see light going through the building. And of course, the buildings next to it as well also have that feature as well now, including a sort of dark, dim area for the parking garage, which is kind of an illusion, and I did that on purpose, just because I didn't want to have to build a full parking garage, but I wanted to make it look like there was parking garage stuff there. So this was definitely a bit of an easier task since it uses all white pieces. Now, the sand green I was using earlier is also a color that's used quite a lot for the next two buildings that I'll be talking about, which is the modified and upgraded version of the Creator 3-in-1 toy shop, which my brother designed, and I just completed it around the back using the same colored bricks as everything. And here you can see a little bit of the back textures for these other buildings as well. And it's mainly just using the same patterns and colors when possible, and I added some studs here as well so I can add some billboards facing into the alleyway and the rest of the city later on. The other building that I used a lot of the sand green on is over here, and I just upgraded the school building a little bit. I didn't like how it was all flat along the back and how there was so much open space next to the railway here. Unlike the other side of the city where I plan on doing a lot of stop animation sequences, this was just a bunch of empty voided space that I needed to fill in. So I filled in the sidewalk, but also changed the school building here to be a little bit less boxy and have a little bit more design differences in the shape. And of course I matched the colors and added some windows. Additionally, you can see that it perfectly matches the colors going around the front as well, which was very much intentional. The only building I didn't really focus on adding the back to yet is the hotel, and that's just because I didn't have time to get to it in this video. But really quick, you may have seen the fire station in my previous video, and I just wanted to showcase the fact that, well, here's where the fire station, the smaller one anyway, was. And you might notice I left some pieces there, and that's just so that way I can easily use those pieces for a future building, because I have many building ideas I want to put back here. Additionally, some plans I'm talking about for the future in this LEGO City is requiring me to go and buy another kit of road plates, which I'll do at some point in January when I head up to the LEGO store. Now, I'll put two of the road plates back here to create another road, which allows me to do some more buildings back here, and it goes right up against the train tracks with a little bit of sidewalk detailing. And of course, there's also a driveway that'll go into where I plan to build a secret ninja base behind the main temple. Sort of like the Samurai X cave. Now, the rest of the road plates will be accumulated as so. We'll have one road plate and the crosswalk road plate over here in the residential area. This just adds more road detailing, like the stripes in the road, to the residential area, where previously it didn't have any. And finally, we're also adding in some road plates over here to expand the road over here on the pier, so that way I can build a crane that goes from the road to the train to the harbor boats, so you can easily change what the shipment is from the ocean to any form of transit that packages will need to take to get to anyone in the LEGO City. With that out of the way, though, that's pretty much all the changes I have in the LEGO City for this video. So let's turn the lights off and see what the lights look like in the LEGO City. So now that we've turned the lights off, let's take a look at some of the additional lights I've added to the LEGO City. First off, I want to mention that since I've added backs to these buildings, for the time being, these buildings will not have lights in them. However, if I ever get to doing stop animation, which I'll talk about in a bit, I can always add the lighting into the buildings post-edit, which I feel like is a good idea in the meantime until I'm able to acquire some professional brick lighting kits, and not any that are designed for specific sets, since most of my buildings are modified or custom. Now, let's talk about the actual lighting in the city. We have 3 types of lighting to worry about. And those 3 types of lighting are temporary, and seasonal, and permanent lighting. The temporary lighting refers to lighting that's temporary because I want to properly establish lights in my skyscraper eventually, but this just does it for now, just to showcase some lights in the building for New Year's, and I guess it's kind of lighting up the entire city as well, which is great. Now, seasonal lighting refers to the lighting over on the mountain here, and this is the Ninjago training area and Dragon Nest section of the city. Thus, I wanted to use some red lights to kind of simulate some Ninjago lanterns that are glowing. Now, there's also a pocket inside the back of the mountain that I can easily stash these lights into if I don't want the wires showing during any daytime filming of the city, but I do really like how this turned out. And of course, you won't always see it, but sometimes I'll have it turned on just for some special events or just for ambience when I want it to. Now, for permanent lighting that I've added to the city, I've decided that these lights across the seawall and going towards the harbor are going to stay pretty much all the time. And my main reason for that is that I really do like these lights here. They kind of remind me of lights that you would see for like special events or boardwalk lighting. And they really do lighten up the front road and showcase the front buildings in a good light, even when the area is dark. If I had to make any changes, I'd probably add more lighting going forward to the rest of the sort of pier harbor area, but I'm pretty happy with these lights here, and I plan to keep them here permanently because, well, they look really good, and even during the daytime, they don't take too much of the focus away from what I might be doing videos on. Additionally, I tried hiding away some of the battery boxes as best as possible. That will require some more work in the future, though, so stay tuned for any future updates in regards to lighting, because, as I said, I might be getting my hands on some professional brick lighting kits in the future as well. I haven't decided on what brand I'm going with yet, but I think it's going to look really cool. Now, let's transition into talking about the New Year's resolutions for the YouTube channel. So now I'm going to be talking about my New Year's resolutions for the city. I have about 4 in total, so it's going to be quite an ambitious year for the LEGO YouTube channel. And this is mainly because I've settled down with my job, and I've settled down in life a little bit more since I've moved, so now I can focus more on upgrading parts of the city that I've been meaning to do for a while now. Now, while I'm doing this part of the video, you really only need to listen in, but I will be showcasing some parts of the city and the new ambient lighting as we go, so feel free to take a look or just listen in. Now, the first thing I want to do with the LEGO City and the YouTube channel is I want to focus on completing Phase 1 of building the LEGO City. Now, Phase 1 includes things like building the suburban area, building a shopping district mall, building a police station, and fixing up the harbor, and some minor adjustments around the city. The reason why this doesn't include fixing all of the city is because of reason number 2, and I guess my second New Year's resolution, which is to focus more on doing some work on starting my stop animation series. Now, I've been planning a stop animation series for a while on the channel. You may have heard me bring it up from time to time, so this is the official declaration that I'm going to start work on it. I'm going to start my series off with a feature-length film of 20 minutes of stop animation, and that's going to take a long time to do. So while I'm focusing on that, I want to also do something else, and that brings me into the third New Year's resolution, which is to go back to what my channel was originally about, doing LEGO reviews of sets that I found fun. Now, despite the fact that I've been doing a lot of city content, I've still been collecting LEGO sets, and I have a bunch that I would really like to do reviews on over time, so I'm going to focus on doing some reviews of those and some custom stuff to bring back the channel to where it started, with some of the core Ninjago sets, which is probably my favorite sets of all time to date, aside from maybe trains, and I have some of those still in the city to date, such as the temple we're taking a look at now. Additionally, this means my upload schedule will change, and that is my fourth New Year's resolution, to provide more high-quality content as opposed to content that's just out there for the sake of being out there. This past year, I've been focusing on trying to do more and more content and get more videos out. However, I've realized that's not the way I really want to do it. I really want to do videos that actually mean a lot. Do videos when they're important, like the fire station upgrade, for example, or the New Year's lighting, for example, instead of doing a bunch of videos that really don't really justify a full video, such as the background detailing that I've been working on in the back, such as the backs of the buildings or the alleyways. Now, because of this, you'll expect to see the channel change a little bit in its upload schedule. You kind of see this already, where I have a bunch of videos that I've been working on that are all coming out at once right now during the end of December. But going into January, not every video will be released on a Friday at 3:30. We'll try and keep the time slot the same. I want to focus on getting videos out when they're done, when they're ready, and when I feel like they are presentable. In addition to that, to help with that goal, I'm planning on looking into getting a camera that fits into tighter spaces that will be better for doing stop animation and reviews in the LEGO City. So stay tuned for that. You might see a quality improve with the videos over time. Now, that's about all I've got for this video. I hope you all enjoyed this video showcasing some of the lights inside of the LEGO City. And of course, there are plenty of videos to come in the new year, in addition to a video that I've been planning where I'm going to talk more about the stop animation project in depth of what my plans are for it, coming at some point in February or January. Plus, I've got a LEGO haul coming from when I take my January trip to the LEGO store. In addition to that, I have plenty of city updates, plenty of reviews coming, so there's going to be a very good amount of content for people who are enjoying the stuff on this channel. Now, I hope you all enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for the next one, and I hope you all have a great New Year's Day!